All right, everybody, welcome to our first all-team call in August. Can you believe we're like 3/4 of the way through the year? Pretty soon it's going to be October and we're going to be in Indy together, and then it'll be December, and then it'll be the new year, and then everything will explode once again because everybody will want to get healthy in January. Why don't you just pretend we're in January now and just assume everybody wants to get healthy right now, right? Would that be the perfect way to go into the rest of the summer and the year? So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Nikki Cotton. Chris and I are 100 Club members. We've been with the Juice Plus company for 26 plus years, a little bit before even Juice Plus came out. And I don't want to spend a lot of time. I'm going to mute everybody out. Hang on one second. Let's see. It's mute all. So I'm going to mute everybody, Michala, and then you can unmute yourself. So that way we've got everybody really, we can get a good recording. But I'm really excited tonight. The reason that you're going to hear from Michala tonight is that we were in Tahoe, and I know that Michala had just become a national marketing director sometime before at the last conference, but I loved her and her husband's presentation. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And she lives on a ranch with her 4 children and her husband, and she went to pharmacy school. I'm thinking you got your PhD in pharmacy. Is that usually what it is? And you were a pharmacist, and yet you transitioned into what I like to think of as the lighter side. The light. She spoke to the light. And so I'm going to have Michala tell you her story, her transition story, and then really she's going to share with us the nitty gritty, what it's like to get to NMD and the kinds of things that she did to get herself there. So I'm going to spotlight you here in 1 second. There we go. And Michala, I'm turning it over to you.
Wait, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, my name is Michala Petersen, like Nikki said, and I am honored to be on your call tonight. It's so exciting to me to speak. So I really was introduced to Juice Plus 3 years ago yesterday, and a pharmacist friend of mine introduced us to Juice Plus, but I really was in search of a tower garden. We live on a ranch with our 4 kids. They're 9, 7, 5, and 3, and we're in the middle of nowhere, and I love to garden, but I hated the weeds and the soil, and we have like 4.5-foot bull snakes here. So the first time I see a bull snake, I'm out of the garden. And so I wanted a tower garden. And within one conversation with Diane, I went from never having heard of Juice Plus before to being a rep for the company. To me, $50 a year for no minimums, no quotas, no inventories was a complete no-brainer. And I really thought we were healthy. And so I didn't expect anything different, but within 5 weeks, we all know how that goes, right? I was having more energy. My husband was in a bad accident 4 years ago and injured his leg really badly. He wasn't having the inflammation that he previously did. Our 4-year-old that struggled with focus was better than ever. And I understand now, I can wrap my pharmacist brain around the fact that the brain cannot process inflammation. So once we get the inflammation out of our bodies and out of our brains, we think better, we focus better, and that was her case. Our 2-year-old gagged at anything green and was eating seconds and asking for salads. And our 8-month-old needed tubes in her ears, and I canceled that surgery. And we haven't been to the doctor except one time in 3 years for all 6 of us. So I'm sure that story, though, is much similar to all of yours, so not too exciting. What did completely change my life, though, is when I really dove into the research and I messaged a mom of a kiddo with cancer, and her response back to me was, "How long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me sooner?" And that's really why I am on this call with you tonight, because I don't want that to ever happen again. I truly believe everyone deserves to know about Juice Plus. And so obviously the trajectory of my life has changed since that conversation. So I'm going to share with you kind of our nitty gritty. I don't feel like our journey has been special. I feel like we're consistent, and I feel like we're coachable. And those are the 2 things that I feel like got us where we are today. So this is the layout. We all know the business plan. And so I'm just going to kind of outline for you how it happened for me. We got to HLP and VF very quickly, I think within 2.5 weeks. And I just wanted to stay at VF. And I thought, oh, I've got 6 months to get to SC, and here we go, right? Well, then that conversation happened between the mom of the kiddo with cancer and we flew to SC then. And at SC, we decided, oh, my echoing?
Uh-oh, hold on. There we go.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, it's good now. It might
Okay,
not
good.
be you.
So at SC, my husband was sensing that I was really serious about this. I knew that this had become my passion. When I became a pharmacist, I found my profession. But when I joined this company, I found my calling. And my husband sensed that right off the bat. And he said, well, if you're serious about this, then we need to go to conference, and we're going to decide there if we're all in or all out. You know, it depends on conference. And obviously we were all in after him coming to conference with me. But I really, at SC, we had a daycare incident that would have forced me to stay at home anyway. But the difference is, this was my hope. This was what I prayed for, to shut a door if it needed to be shut. And so then we quickly became SSC, and within a year we were Q, and then 17 months later we were National Marketing Director. So I'm going to just kind of show you the keys to our success. And I don't think you're going to see anything special here on this lineup either. These are the things we're going to talk about, and I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. So the first one is daily method of brave opportunity. And this is on the mission-driven model. We're coached about this all the time. It doesn't have to look like the typical notebook, though. This right here is a planner that I bought at the Omaha airport. It goes everywhere with me. You see I have prospects, customers, reps, and then calls and events. And I can tick this off as I do life. If I don't write it down, then I forget it. So this is what goes with me everywhere, and I write everything down in this. I really believe in setting the stage, and that happens pretty organically for us. You know, I think it's all about the energy with which you approach people. And if you have this doom, gloom energy, and I'll talk about this in just a little bit about our 2 requirements, but I have never had anyone tell me no to our 2 requirements. And the 2 requirements are, if they want to be a rep, they get on Voxer. And the way I approach this is the best way for you to have the best of me. Nobody wants to call me and hear 4 kids screaming in the background in the car. You know, nobody wants that. But I can make a kick butt message on the way to the washing machine. You know, I mean, that's just the way they have the best of me, and they can have me in their back pocket at all times. So I really promote that big right off the bat. And the other thing that we do is I say, we're going to get on a 30-minute call with my good friend Michala. And it's basically just so you can get to know her and she can get to know you. But the main thing is that you realize that this thing is way bigger than just me. You have a huge team behind you that's going to back that up. So I'm going to send you a Voxer invite, and then you can get on Voxer, and we'll talk about a day and time to get on the phone with Michala. How does that sound? And they say, that sounds great. Sign me up. Well, let's do it. But if I would promote it with the energy like, so we do have these 2 little requirements. I mean, it's all in with the energy that you promote it with. And so this is really how we start out new reps, and we've had really good luck with it so far. So I feel like it's our obligation to show them what their $50 buys them. So we have a few different methods for starting up a new rep. The first thing that we do is, I'm sure you guys have seen this 12 houses before. It's brilliant. You can write it on a napkin in 30 seconds. It doesn't take long at all. And basically, by the end of this little 2-minute blurb, they know the marketing plan, you know, because you get them to HLP, to VF, you help them qualify their business, and you repeat. So this is one thing that we always do, is write it on a napkin or paper or whatever. We have a Freedom Project team huddle, much like this call, I think. It's Monday nights at 9, and people share their wins on there. It exposes them to the community, which is awesome. We do friends and family calls to launch a new rep. So by the end of this 30-minute call, they know 3 stories. They know the potential that could be there, although the business is not our focus. They know about the research, and they know the 6 principles that the company stands for. So it really builds belief in the product, the people behind the product, the company, all of that. We love to do salad in a jar events, and these are awesome for moms. Honest to God, I have done maybe 2 events in 3 years well, 2 events in 2 years, I guess. I'll tell you that in just a minute, that I have not taken my kids to. We don't take our kids to conference, but everything else, I schlep my kids everywhere, usually all 4 of them. So we want to keep it simple. We want to be inviting, and we want to be real. You know, this is a perfect job for moms, right? So this is the moment of truth, because I don't want to be up on this pedestal where you think that I've been this event queen right off the bat. I was with Juice Plus for a year to the day before we had any events. And, you know, obviously that's not ideal. I had just hit QNMD and was like, okay, we probably should do an event. But I was, you know, in the pharmacy, I knew the sickest people. And so that was kind of an advantage, I suppose, but it's not duplicatable, which is what I've found. Events are duplicatable. So conversations around the table are awesome, but events are great. I got the taste in the front of the room for how many people you can impact, and it greatly changed the way I thought of events. Before, I thought, oh, I don't want to be that person that expects them to buy that thing, you know, and they feel like it's a bill that they get, you know. I didn't want to be that person. But now my whole philosophy around events have changed. So these are a few fun events we do. We do satellite salad in a jar events. And these are awesome because this allows you to work smarter, not harder. So I pick a location that I'm going to be, and I say, okay, we're going to do a salad in a jar next Tuesday night. I'm going to be at this location. And our biggest that we've had is 12 different salad in a jars at one time. And so you can imagine the energy that you pull off of that. These people on the screen see all these other people. And anyway, it's electric. So I give the presentation, or somebody else gives the presentation, and then they can ask us questions. So the newest rep can fill their home with people and not have to be the expert, which is awesome. We love doing smoothies and solutions, or smoothies and sangria, or whatever it is. One of my favorite things to do is a tower tour. And my kids and I drop a tower garden off at a nursing home. And then for 6 weeks, we go in every week and we do something different with the residents. And it's really been a way to give back for us. We've gotten way more than we've given, I feel like. Sometimes we end up singing Jingle Bells in June, but that's what happens, you know, with 4 kids. And thank God a lot of the residents don't remember it and want to see us the next week. No, I'm kind of teasing there. They love it. And we do live Facebook events. None of these are new to you guys, I'm sure. Mommy and Me events, our favorite, are panel events. Our biggest hit so far has been a Men Tell All event. Next week, we're doing a wine, whiskey, and wellness event. So, I mean, we're always coming up with fun things to involve the men, because a lot of times they're kind of the gateway to, you know, whatever the woman wants to do, right? So these are some of the events that we've done. We, up in the upper right-hand corner, is a 1-word challenge. We got together and painted our 1 words for the year on canvases to really focus in and kind of hone that at the very beginning. This was a healthy snacks and solutions in the upper left-hand corner. We did a wine and wellness, a salad in a jar at a chiropractor's office that was awesome. And then this was one of our first ever salad in a jars in the bottom right-hand corner there. And so it's all about the Yittle things, as my 3-year-old says. And so these are some things that I think are really important, that have projected us forward as quickly as we went, I feel like. The first and foremost is I pray every day that God puts in my path the people who need me most. And it's amazing what happens when you do that. It also changes the energy with which you answer the phone, because, you know, sometimes there's something that comes across the caller ID and you're like, oh, I do not have 25 minutes to talk to this person. But if I've prayed that day that God puts in my path the people that need me most, then, you know, that's the explanation, right? So written goals are also so important. I'm sure you guys do this. Write down a timeline. I came home from the first conference that we ever went to in Sacramento, and I wrote down NMD in Phoenix 2016. And I didn't think I would hit that. I was an SC and I had no idea what I was doing. But I did. I wrote it down. I wrote out the qualifications and I ticked them off one by one. I did that same thing with 24 Club. Now I've got this right by my computer. This is 39 Club. And so it helps to have those goals staring at you right in the face. one of our favorite things to do, the kids and I make protein balls every week, and any new customers, we drop off a couple samples of complete or the protein balls. Who can resist the protein balls? And we get a lot of complete orders off of that. Personalized birthday messages. It takes 2 seconds to scroll through Facebook, to hit the birthday function on there, and to send them a private birthday message that says, I always say, happy birthday, I hope your day is full of adventure. Jeff Roberti, of all people, did this to me when I was just a sales coordinator, and it spoke volumes because he's this huge feature and he's messaging me on my birthday. So and I've gotten 2 reps doing that. So that's awesome. We're about 100% for inviting families or couples over for dinner. Juice Plus naturally comes up. The kids take their, my little guy takes his shirt off. He's 4 and he's got a 6-pack, and that's great advertising for good nutrition. Get out and socialize. I am guilty of this also. I could be a hermit. I really could. And sometimes you just have to force yourself to get out. One time this summer, we went to a ball game that I didn't want to go to, and we ended up seeing 5 Juice Plus reps there of ours. We ended up re-engaging 2 of them, planned an event that night. And so it's just kind of crazy what happens when you do that. And then call customers when they're shipping and turn them into reps. This is one of my favorite things to do. When I get kind of down on myself, I really dive into customer care. And this is my verbiage. It's worked really well. I will call a customer and say, hey, your order's due to ship. Do you need anything else to ship with it? I don't say, is that okay? They'll tell me if it's not okay. And then I say, I have a little extra time with school starting here, and 3 of my kids are going to school. I would love to work with you. You are at the top of my list. You've had a great Juice Plus experience. You let me know if you're open to a 30-minute conversation about generating a secondary stream of income, and segue the 3-way call, right? So I've got breaking news for you. The whole journey is not great, right? It's full of struggles. Everyone has this lion that they don't want to approach, right? And for me, that has been my family. So I just want to be totally authentic with you for a minute, because I have 2 brothers that are physicians, and they are my lions. One of my brothers is practicing medicine in our hometown, where I still am a pharmacist at the hometown pharmacy every other Saturday. And he has lost patients, and I have lost Juice Plus customers because he has told them to stop taking Juice Plus. And I mean, I know you're gasping, but you're muted. And it's actually been a real source of heartache for me. I mean, this guy is not healthy. He drinks 8 Diet Mountain Dews a day. I love him dearly, but there's nothing there. Time is going to heal that. I still have faith. He's agreed to come to David Phillips, so that's good. But I just want you to know that you can either turn those heartaches into, letting them get you in a rut and letting them get you down, or you can let them fan your flame. And so that's what my brothers have done for me. They have just fueled my fire. And on the days when I'm spending time with them and they do get me down, I have to think about this and think, what if? Is it worth it? First of all, is it worth it to you? On the left here is my Uncle Bill. He's down 45 pounds since November. He shreds every month. He's a Juice Plus walking billboard. He's got all of his kids and grandkids on Juice Plus. He's joined our team. What if I hadn't said yes? Bill would not be the picture of health that he is. These 2 ladies in the middle are my best friends. I only knew one of them starting out. The girl in the kale hat just hit QNMD, and the other one just hit SSC. That's Nyla. She's a massage therapist. And these girls were single moms, and they needed hope. They were, struggling single moms financially, emotionally. They needed a community. And the girl in the kale hat didn't have a choice. She's been my best friend since 1st grade. Carissa Halpine is her name. And I called her and said, they say you need a buddy in the business, and you're it. Let's go. I'll do whatever I have to do, but you're coming on this journey with me. And she has been able to stay at home with her 3 boys now. She's happily remarried. We don't recognize ourselves from 3 years ago, thanks to this business that's a personal growth journey, right? And Nyla was able to pay off all of her student loans with her Juice Plus check. So you tell me how that doesn't change a family. And then the lady on the right, Peg Wilbeck, she was diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer and given 3 weeks to live. And remember that mom of that kiddo with cancer? I will never have that happen again. So I saw her name pass on the church prayer chain, and I contacted her the next day and said, you deserve to know about this. I would love to come talk to you. She became a rep the next day, and she said, I might as well help people on my way out of this world. In 3 months, she went to the doctor, and the tumor was a third of the size. And of course, now she was a candidate for treatment, even though she wasn't when the tumor was huge. And so she underwent 30 radiations and 3 chemos in 15 days, didn't have a single mouth sore, didn't lose her hair. And this is an event that we did on her birthday, a panel. She sang to the crowd and had just had throat radiation. I mean, go figure. She was just a spitfire. And she thought I saved her life, and she knows how much I hate laundry folding. And so she came out and helped me fold my laundry once a week then from that time on. And she was going with us to Phoenix to watch me cross the stage as NMD. And she fell and broke a hip and never could recover. But dear Peg still is a grandma to my kids. And anyway, just an angel to us. And, you know, she got to meet her great grandchild because of that 5 seconds of bravery that it took to pick up the phone and call her. And, you know, she's forever grateful for me. Her whole family is still in contact with them. And so sometimes it's worth it to do the hard things, right? It's worth it. So this is conference. Obviously, the upper left-hand corner is St. Louis. No, I think that was Nashville. And we've grown a lot since then. So this is like the family reunion that you always want to go to. We can't wait for Indy. It's going to be the best ever. And so these are our family now. So again, it's not all rainbows. And sometimes you get stuck in the mud. And this was me in February, actually. I had hit NMD. We'd been NMD for a year. We made that look fairly easy. And then all of a sudden I was taking this health course that was this health coaching course, which was awesome, but it took a lot of my time. And I kind of pulled myself away from customer care, which is exactly what we don't want to happen. I also got a lineup for a boot camp that we'd been asked to speak at. And it was the best of the best, and Mark and I was in that kind of stinking thinking place of what the heck are we going to add value to these people that are already talking? And what I realized after I did a brave act and reached out to my leaders and said, how can I best serve you? You know, what could I do different? How could I be a better leader? And one of the gals said, well, you know, you always are upbeat and cheerleading on Voxer. When we don't do exactly what you say works for you, we feel like a failure. And we think that you fart rainbows. And I went, okay, I need to come clean with these people because they need to realize what I'm going through right now. And so what I had realized in that process was that I had put down my light. You can't let your light shine if it's on the ground, if you put down your lantern. And that's what I had done. And so we had a team call, and I just totally came clean. And I told them, you know, that up until November of last year, we had gotten 5 customers every single month without fail. And that was getting harder and harder and harder to do. And anyway, I could see the relief on their face. And I just was totally authentic with them. And I felt this huge burden lift off my shoulders. And I got paged into the pharmacy that night. I'm on call still for the pharmacy some. And it was for Tylenol suppositories. And in my head, typically I would be resentful and like, are you kidding me? This is an over-the-counter product. But I knew God was working in a strange way. And I walk into that nursing home, and we can't find a nurse. And I am greeted by this bright light of a lady. And we end up striking up a conversation. She's an attorney that is back here because her boyfriend died of testicular cancer. And she's realized that life is too short to be a stressed out attorney. She's working as a CNA at a nursing home and has 5 kids and desperately needed a friend. She needed Juice Plus. She needs a community. And she joined our team. The other lady that was in that hallway at 11:15 at night was a gal that had a port that was getting chemotherapy, and she also needed hope. And so it's one of those deals that pick up the light and amazing things happen. So these are our 3 taglines, and I really do believe that we can do anything our heart desires if we're authentic, if we're fearless, and if we're open to who God puts in our path. And this last video depicts everything in this training and more. I probably could have shown the 4-minute and 10-second video and just been done for the night. But we are at a fork in the road 250 different times a day. And we get to choose every single time, bitter or better. Do not put down your light. Let your light shine. And I hope you enjoy this video.
Looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. Your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
But you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. Anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again. Fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear puts people in the hospital. Fear can age you, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back, and I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration. This is what you stand for. You're standing up for your dreams. You're standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. Take full responsibility for your life. Accept where you are and the responsibility that you're going to take yourself where you want to go. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Decide that you're going to push yourself. The last chapter to your life has not been written yet, and it doesn't matter about what happened yesterday. This year, I will make this goal become a reality. I won't talk about it anymore. I can. I can. I can.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Michala, that was just fabulous. And I remember I said I wasn't quite sure what you had done in Tahoe, but I knew that I loved it. And I loved it again. And I took a ton of notes. It was really great. For those of you that didn't get a chance to see her now, you can see a little bit of piece of Michala. And we also got her husband who told their story, and it was really fabulous to hear about their ranch life and their ups and their downs and all of the trials and tribulations that they've been through. So does anybody have a last minute question that they would like to ask Michala before we jump off? Do raise your hand and make sure to unmute yourself. All right, we're good to go. Hi, Chris, I see you in the corner. So,
Hi, Michala, you rocked it.
Oh, thank you.
So once again, I would. Did you want to say something,
Yeah.
Chris?
Thanks for bringing your light.
You're breaking up really badly, Chris.
Can you hear me now?
So
Yes.
I'm going to just have everybody unmute themselves.
Okay, I was just saying for picking up her light.
For just unmute yourselves and give a really warm thank you to Michala. She did a fabulous job. Michala, it was great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Michala.
And
Thank you, Michala. Appreciate it. Wonderful.
Thank you, Michala.
Thank you, Michala, Nikki, and Chris.
You're welcome. Good night, everybody. Have a great
Thank you,
week.
Nikki.
Go out there and do the nitty gritty.
Yes.
Nitty-gritty.
Thank you.